Let's talk about the artist's journey from inspiration to creation and then reflection. So, in this video, I'd like to talk about how artists come up with ideas to make art, how painters come up with ideas to make paintings. You know, what is the environment that we need to create in order for us to gain inspiration enough to the point where we want to make art about it? So, the first thing that artists encounter after they learn technique and this sort of thing is coming up with an idea of what to paint. What should I paint? What should I make? How can I possibly come up with an idea to make a painting? Um, and the solutions are quite diverse for different types of people. There's no right solution for any of these. However, I can suggest, some different methods and techniques that could possibly help you gain more inspiration and create more artwork from those experiences. The first thing is to identify what is something that is a seed of inspiration for you in your previous works. A lot of times, you know, people will make paintings just because they like the way it looks or just because the subject matter within it. Look a little bit deeper into what is the seed of inspiration that really made you like that thing to the point where you wanted to paint it. Oftentimes, that seed of inspiration is that initial idea that's going to carry you through a lot of other paintings as well. So, identify that, then create an environment that nurtures this sort of inspirational thinking, right? So, a lot of artists throughout history, writers especially like Ray Bradbury and Stephen King, would speak about the benefits of just going on a walk, you know, going on a walk, coming up with ideas, letting your mind go. Now we have headphones, of course, so that can kind of cloud, our thinking process. But I'd suggest, if you do wear headphones, use something, you listen to something kind of unobtrusive so your mind doesn't just get taken over by some song or, nostalgia from when you were in high school all of a sudden you have from some music. Well, maybe that's your inspiration too. But anyway, go on a walk and look at nature around you. And that's a really, really popular way artists got inspiration. I mean, we don't think about it, centuries ago. We don't imagine an artist centuries ago wandering around at dawn because they needed inspiration. We think that they're just in the studio working all the time. So you have to have, be able to cultivate a receptive and curious mindset to the world and bring those things into your work, bring those things into what you're creating within the studio. But generally, that's going to happen outside of the studio. So think of a way you can interact with the world around you and find something that is inspirational enough for you to paint. So once you've found what that seed of inspiration is, you're going to want to nurture that idea. So this is the next idea. So we start with seeds of inspiration. Now we're going on to nurturing that idea, right? So we're going to nurture the idea and we're going to take that initial inspiration and we're going to develop some things from it. Now, in the beginning, this can be a lot of different sort of things. This could just be brainstorming. This could just be sketching. This could be writing, a quick note in your phone or on a notepad or something like that. But we just get a way to get our ideas down onto paper very, very quickly. So, and we have there's nothing to lose in making a sketch, really. So, nothing to worry about, nothing to lose. Just make the sketch. Start working on the composition. Start thinking about how do you place things. Get that initial seed of inspiration and turn it into a brainstorm. Turn it into sketches that can later build into something better. Now, once we've got these down, we have an idea. Not everybody sketches before they make a painting, but we have an idea of where the painting is headed. So the next step is the actual act of painting itself. Now, one thing about painting is that you kind of have to have faith a lot of time in painting. Even people who are doing highly like photorealistic work, It does come down to having a brush with some synthetic or animal hairs on the end of it that you're dipping in some oil paint and dragging it across the surface. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong in that process. While you can kind of expect the paint to behave in a certain way, there's also a good chance it's not going to. So when you start off into that painting, you're also putting yourself into a place that allows you to kind of take risks and step into the unknown a little bit, I think. This is really important in all sorts of creative work, that you're really, pushing yourself beyond just what you know, and you want to push it a little bit further. We can all get trapped in our habits, but it's good to just step out of what we are familiar with and take a little bit of risks. And paint is a perfect material to do that in, especially something like acrylics, where you can just let them dry and paint over them, or with oils where you can just take a baby wipe and just wipe off what you've done if you really hate it. Oil paints are more forgiving than they get credit for a lot of the time. um, and now one thing you're going to notice when you're trying to paint is you're going to encounter some unexpected challenges. Now, everybody who's painted has, there's one thing that just you can't get right, and you got to work through that. And there's going to be some things that bubble up that you don't expect, and you have to kind of fight the painting a little bit and be in a battle back and forth, or maybe be in a love affair or something like that as well instead of a fight. um, but there is a give and take between the painting, and there's going to be obstacles which need to be overcome. So take note of how those things come about, and maybe what you can do beforehand in order to mitigate these things from happening in the first place. Um, but a lot of it is kind of based, I think a lot of it is based on intuition at the end of the day with painting. We can read about color theory or something like this, but a lot of how we create and how we get ideas to make a painting and how we execute that painting, a lot of that is really based on intuition. And so don't be afraid to really just follow your intuition and follow what you want your hand to do at that moment, and really just pay attention to how the paint is reacting on the canvas itself. Once you've got this all done, the painting is finished. You can put it on a wall, and you kind of reflect on it. You can reflect upon an idea, you can reflect upon how you painted it, you can reflect upon the entire process and think about, what should I change for the next time, or is this, what I want to be doing. Now, the cool thing that I think is that this reflection, this, artist journey from inspiration to creation and then reflection is a three-part process that the artist has to involve themselves in all three parts. And I think oftentimes we're just focused on the second part, which is execution of the painting. But paying attention to that initial stage of inspiration, brainstorming, that's the fun part, by the way, because you don't have to do the work. Is coming up with the idea, and then making the painting. Oh, it's there. And then really taking that reflection kind of seriously. When we look at the painting, we can take it seriously and we can think, what do I need to change in this? Is this really working for me? Um, of course, you can show it to other people. Sometimes that's a good idea, sometimes it's a bad idea. But consider all three parts of that process in creating a painting, and I think you'll lead a more fulfilling artistic life, and that will also result in more exciting works for people to look at as well. So, thanks for watching. If you like these sort of things, you can head over to oko.academy and look at some courses that I've got available here in Prague, Czech Republic. I'm doing workshops and a one-on-one mentorship program right out of my studio right here. Or you can go to painting-courts.com, and I've got my free class I made a long time ago. But I still got that free class up there. And yeah, it's all free, it's all up there for you to check out and do at your own pace, do as you wish. If you've got any comments about your own creative journeys and hurdles that you've overcome, feel free to put those down in the comments. Thanks for watching. We're here with my little puppy today. If you made it this far, you get to see the dog, Blaja. Very good dog. He's a very good dog. She's a superstar. So, thanks a lot for watching, and yeah, till next time.